Yo, what's going on, everybody? Just finished watching this amazing episode of Choose Yourself, the James Altucher story, Episode 7, Idea Sex. And this is an absolutely amazing episode in so many ways. One of my favorite episodes of this season for this series, because this episode not only provides like one very practical step to be able to consider ideas for your next business, for your next invention, for your next project, for your next art creation, whether you're a writer, musician, or whether you're a producer, or whether you just want to come up for ideas for your next party, or whatever hobby it is that you have. It doesn't just have to be about business, because even though James Altucher built a bunch of businesses, made millions of dollars, lost millions of dollars, and is a successful podcaster and author and everything like that. Besides all of that, besides all of those big things that he's done, he has provided this one very practical step for everybody, not just, the top performers and assertive, brilliant, genius entrepreneurs out there, but for anybody to have an idea and be able to combine them to create something incredibly powerful. And when you really think about all the businesses in the world, you'll be able to find from this episode just how some of those ideas started to come about. And when you can start to think this way, in the way that was provided in the episode on idea sex, when you can do that, for me personally, it has been very powerful in coming up with ideas for videos that I made, coming up with ideas for, art projects, coming up with ideas for trying to start different websites and all these different areas of my life of how to approach my career and everything, and it's been very helpful to me. So to actually be able to, and I have the advantage of having read it before and probably even heard like podcast episodes about it, but to actually see it on video and to be able to have that it's not like face to face, of course, because it's not in person, but to have that like almost that face talking on a screen, and to be able to hear the words of advice coming directly from his mouth and attaching a face to it it's very inspiring in many ways. And here's the thing about, so for those of you who know who James Altucher is, some of the ideas aren't going to be anything new. It's going to be the experience that's different for you. For those of you who have not heard of James Altucher before, who are watching this review for the first time, you just came across this, or have heard about James Altucher but never really read any of his stuff, you're going to get a lot of value out of this video, because there's so many great things when you're reading something. It's one thing because you're reading, you may or may not be taking notes, but you're reading, you got to interpret words into like a visual image or some ideas or thoughts. When you're listening to a podcast, you got to interpret something that you're hearing and come up with something. And when you listen to podcasts, you're probably in a car or something, and you're not like actively studying as if it was teaching. Not everybody. Some people might like take wisdom from podcasts very seriously. But then there's this entire video series that was created and put on Amazon Prime, and by the way, there's a link in the description below to where you can go to it. But there's this amazing video series that was put together that's available on Amazon about Choose Yourself, about James Altucher's story, and to be able to have this other, not just visual experience, gonna try to talk over this emergency vehicle right now, but to be able to have this third experience that not only includes the auditory and the conceptual, but to also be able to see him speak it, and also to be able to see visually these visual graphics that they provide on the show, that is absolutely an amazing way to help grasp the concept of what idea sex means. And idea sex, it's not just like the skill or the practice of having idea sex, it's what comes of it. Your next big project, your next big idea, your next big business concept, the idea that you're going to give to somebody else who could potentially partner with you. There's so much value that comes out of this one episode. It's seriously that powerful. So with that, I don't want to continue on with this because there's this. Go watch the episode. So check that out in the link in the description below. Go search on Amazon yourself, however you want to do it. Maybe you'll even read the book instead of watching the show. But regardless of your decision, be sure to like, share, subscribe, share some of your comments on not only this video and this review, or if you've read James Altucher stuff before, share your thoughts on that. But also, after watching the episode, come back here, share your thoughts in the comments, and I would love to read it and engage with that the comment or whatever you have to ask or share. And thank you again for watching. Thanks for spending your time to see this very specific video. And with that, have a wonderful day.